I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night. We're actually working right now to identify the families so we can help assist them through this tough time. You know, my fans really mean the world to me, and I always just really want to leave them with a positive experience. And anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and, help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
I read something that was really informative, right? And the more I look into it, like I have my own personal experience, but I trip off that people don't actually take these things into account, right? So this comes from this website called The Travel. And it says, it is unclear why the Love Parade decided a narrow tunnel entrance into the festival was a smart idea for this one. And the 21 dead feel the same way. The festival grounds reached maximum capacity, and the police responded by closing off the entrance. They asked people to leave calmly, but the crowd turned into a stampede as they went in the other direction. This is a tragedy that the festival goers will never forget. And as the Love Parade continues, they refuse to forget what happened that fateful year. 500 to 1,000 people were injured. This is the Love Parade in 2010. So it's another one.
Is that Travis Scott's event?
No. It's called the Love Parade.
Oh, the Love Parade. Whose event is that?
I'm not sure. All right, so I think I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but there's a festival in Morocco. I think it's pronounced Mawazine or Malzine. But this festival in Morocco, right in 2009, actually ended in the deaths of 11 people after a stampede trampled them. There were 70,000 fans packed into the stadium to see Adelaide Stati. I think that's how it's pronounced. And after the performance, the police failed to secure exits for the masses. The people who died became trapped beneath the metal security fence that toppled over concert goers.
That's what I thought it had happened.
Yeah, fence that toppled over after concert goers decided to make their own exits. The police did not intervene, and the fun festival ended in a deadly disaster.
Well, there have been several instances of these things going sideways. It takes a lot of logistics and planning to put on one of these events. And I generally would say that whatever because the sheriffs and the fire department and all those guys usually come through and do a walkthrough. So I'm pretty sure that these people are warned beforehand that they may have these little things. Now, sometimes it may go off without a hitch. Sometimes you get stuff like what happened with Travis Scott's thing.
And I'm glad you actually brought that up, right? No ceilings, GL, my boy Peter, my manager and the owner of Digital Soapbox, one of the best, if not the greatest podcasting company in the world. Big Still is on with us. What's happening, Still? We in this place.
Oh man, we here, man. I see. I don't got cajoled into being a regular, but it's cool because I told Peter it's just like having a conversation anyway. We just doing the shit we talk about on the phone.
That's what make our shit great. That's what make me and Peter shit dope, because it's just a conversation. It ain't an interview. So the point I was saying was, you had no idea who was on stage, right, when the incident at the Love Parade happened. Notice they did not know who was on stage when the concert happened. When the people died, when the incidents happened, you have no idea who was on stage. Same thing with this festival in Morocco, last decade as well. You had no idea, right, who was on stage. They talked about who could have been there, who was next, but they didn't talk about who was on stage. Right now, if I ask you about the Route 91 Harvest Festival in Las Vegas, that was in 2017, right, where 60 people was gunned down at this festival.
Gunned down?
Yeah, gunned down in Las Vegas.
Shooting thing?
Okay.
Caesars or whatever.
I remember that, yeah.
Okay. And it was over 800 people injured at this festival. Do either one of you guys know who was on stage?
No.
I did
No.
at the time.
Well, you know what?
It was a
Wasn't the
country
country
guy.
and western station? It was a country western guy that won in Vegas, correct?
It's a country western concert.
Yeah.
I
Excuse me, it's a
remember.
country western festival.
Was it what's the girl's daddy?
No,
I
it wasn't him. It wasn't him. And you know why it wasn't him? Because the media didn't say it was his fault. Because the media didn't say, let me finish. Because the media didn't say, well, he didn't tell people to duck and run and blah, blah, blah. What happened was he got the hell out of there. Jason Aldean. Right. And I don't want to compare this incident to that incident, because what happened at the Astroworld situation is unique because it's not unique. Somewhere near 45 to 50 festival goers die every year. Roughly 90% die the exact same way.
You know, this is research that us as parents do. When you got teenage kids, you do stuff like this. That's why I don't let Jasmine attend open concerts like that. I never let Chris go to those things. You know, I'm pretty open with my kids, going places and experiencing things. But what I usually do, bro, like, I almost cried today when I read this. Dad, he saw pictures of his son at the incident, right? He noticed his shoes. And he said, well, maybe he was asleep. He started trying to like compartmentalize it in his head. Well, maybe he was asleep, but he kept saying, no, he's dead. I can feel that he's gone, that he's not here anymore. So he's calling the police, file a missing conscious report. Nobody wants their 14 to 16-year-old son or daughter to leave home and go somewhere to have fun with their friends, and you hear about them getting stumped to death later on, you know?
But again, it's one of those things that if you look at the history of these type of festivals, this is the norm. Now, some people will say, some people will say, oh, that don't make it right. Well, if that's custom, right? If this is your traditional idea of what happened at festivals, the rowdiness, the freeness to move around, to be wild, some things bad happen. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to be financially liable. I'm not saying you don't have to be responsible for everything going on. That's not the point I'm saying. What I'm saying is I've never seen such a target painted on one person's back.
Who would that be? Travis Scott?
Man.
And
literally.
But that's the thing with these lawyers. We're living in such a litigious society right now that usually, like, let's say if someone sued James McDonald, right? Not only would they sue James McDonald, they would sue Digital Soapbox, they would sue iHeartMedia, they would sue Black Effect, they'd probably even sue your ass, Glasses and Peter, if they found out I was on this podcast. They sue everyone around, and usually as the case goes along, people usually drop off. They usually found that they don't have no liability in certain things. Like, I don't understand where Drake plays at an equation with that. Was he a part of the event, or was he just a guy, act that was down there just to perform?
Well, he performed on stage, but no, he wasn't a part of the promotions. He wasn't even promoted as part of the concert. As part of the festival.
And that's what I'm saying. So, and I get it, man, but I would be thinking at the time, me as a parent, the last thing I would be thinking about doing is filing a lawsuit on somebody, because that's not going to bring my child back. I would be pissed off. I would be angry. But then again, I would probably be more mad at myself, because you know what happens at these things. And it's not just the violence of the stuff like this. You have a lot of incidents of rape down there.
Man.
You got incidents of rapes at these festivals. It's a lot of fighting, a lot of bullying going on. It's just a lot of bad stuff, because it's a lot of freedom. And usually it's not enough law enforcement there to protect it. You know, for every law enforcement, you may have, for every staff pro security dude, you may have one police officer for every 20 staff pro police dudes, and them staff pro dudes there just to get their little $100 and go home.
It's really nothing you can do. That's the point. It's meant to be unruly.
Did you guys see the thing on Instagram with Steve-O and the Insane Clown Posse?
No, but I've actually performed at an Insane Clown Posse festival, so that's a whole other story.
Very sure of that.
I'm gonna tell you about that.
3-6 was there. So I guess because Steve-O ... version used to go to clown school after he went to college, and said that ICP is not real clowns. And they got all pissed off, so they're going to beat his ass when they see him. And he was like, didn't remember having said that. So he called him and they talked, and then they invited him down. So he goes to the thing, and as he's going there, he wanted to get that clown tattoo that they have.
Yeah,
and
Juggalo.
Apparently,
they call it the Hatchet Man.
Exactly. I guess the Insane Clown Posse fan base nation, whatever the hell they call themselves,
it's called the Juggalos and Juggalettes.
The Juggalos. Yeah, Juggalos.
Get that shit right, because they will fuck you up.
Yeah, there's a federal injunction against them. It's like a RICO federal injunction.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre. I'd never heard of anything like that.
So I'm glad you brought up ICP, right? Who was some of the coolest guys in the world. Shout out to them brothers. Them motherfucking white boys fucking funny and great. So they invited me to perform at a festival that they have called The Gathering. Right?
Oh, you did The Gathering?
This was the thing.
I did 2 gatherings.
That's dope.
So let me tell you about The Gathering, right? It's tens of thousands of motherfuckers, right? And so this particular year was in this little small town in Indiana. So me and Head, we on a plane, right? Me and Head going, we excited because we heard about The Gathering. Tech 9 told us about The Gathering. Everybody talked about The Gathering. So we're invited. So we have to fly into Atlanta and drive 2.5 hours to get to the place. But they're paying like $20,000. Like they overpaid. I'm like, then it's cool. So long story short, we fly into Vegas. We fly into Atlanta. The cold part is I remember it so well because it was a storm in Georgia at the time and we couldn't land. It was too much traffic on the ground. So we had to fly in a circle. So we kept flying through a storm cloud. And there was a lady on the fucking plane, bro, that was so scared because of what was going to happen. She thought the plane was going down. She thought the plane would go down. So we're flying in this circle. We had to fly through the storm cloud probably 10 of 20 times.
That sounds like the flight from the Denzel Washington movie. Are you sure it wasn't the same flight?
No, I wish it was.
Okay.
Because at least it would have been over and at least it would have been down. So this lady prepared as Head next time you talk to Cuz. This lady, bro, every time we got through that cloud, she was hysterical. Like crying. But it was like over, so she would calm down and just be panting until we went through the cloud again, right? And as Head, like it take Head to explain it. So we get down, we finally land, we on the ground, we drive. We drive to this festival. You have to pull in, right? You own this property. Thousands, tens of thousands of people. Tens of thousands. They offering your motherfucking ass whatever your motherfucking wildest make. It's women trying to give you pussy. Hey, do you want to fuck? Hey, do you want some pussy? I think you're cute. Would you like some pussy? It's people trying to sell you some pussy. It's all kind of crazy shit going on. It's like you just went into a whole nother world of shit. Motherfuckers passed out. Motherfuckers loaded. Motherfuckers dead. But it's just crazy, right? So when we are performing, right, we get on stage, it's thousands of people. You got to have an in-ear monitor because it's so many people, right? You can't hear. It's lights in your face, so you can't see. So I'm looking at all this stuff Travis is going through, right? Because I know what it's like to be at that kind of festival. And again, we've done a couple different things like this, and that's the idea. The unruliness is why people like festivals. Festivals don't have 100,000 seats where you sit next to each other and you pick a row and you just sit down and you're watching the fucking. This is not a fucking concert.
It's not James Taylor at Staples.
Yo, this is not the Hollywood Bowl, bro. This is the motherfucking rebellion. And so when I listen to people talk about what happened at Astroworld, and I just know they have no idea of what's going on. They have zero idea of what's going on. They don't have no idea. And they just talk, oh, well, Travis could have did this. Travis could have did that.
Travis could have did shit.
And I'm going to read something back to you about the Love Parade. It is unclear why the actual promotion, the promotion of the festival decided a narrow tunnel into the festival was a smart idea for this one. 21 people died. The festival grounds reached maximum capacity, like what happened at Astroworld, and the police, not security, the police responded by closing off the entrance. The police asked people to leave calmly. but the crowd turned into a stampede as they went into the tunnel. This thing is made for people to be unruly. Now, I'm not saying again that people are not liable, but the problem is when you got all these people, I'm not feeling how they trying to make this little brother the whole face of this problem. This is life at the festivals.
Well, you know that the fortunate part about it, G, is those events, and I'm pretty sure Travis Scott got a pretty good team around him. I'm pretty sure he has a lot of insurance on that event. I'm pretty sure he had a super duper amount of insurance on that event. So it's probably
here's your number. $26 million.
Mm-hmm.
But the damages will exceed over $100 million.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's his insurance, or that's
the whole total insurance for the whole event.
Well, I mean, I think you've answered your own question. I mean, like the $1 billion enterprise will be more than happy to hide behind the $1 million enterprise.
That's all I'm saying.
It's Live? Yeah, Live Nation.
They
would much rather soil his name than soil their name, because he might, what's the rest of his career worth versus what's the next 10 years of gross revenue for them worth?